So, Wednesday Season 2 is finally here, and honestly, it feels less like a gothic detective story and more like a Netflix branded soap opera dressed up in spooky clothes. Season 1 of Wednesday was a cultural earthquake, a gothic teen detective story with Tim Burton's signature fingerprints all over it. It looked fresh, stylish, and had just enough darkness to stand out from the endless stream of Netflix shows. But Season 2, let's say, the revolution is over. Wednesday Addams is back at Nevermore Academy, and this time, she's not grappling with mysteries. She's also dealing with her own emerging psychic powers, family drama, and a whole new layer of supernatural threats. A disturbing version of Enid's fate haunts her, making Wednesday question whether her abilities or her instincts are doing more harm than good. New faces and familiar ones weave into the story this season. Morticia takes a much more active role, and the arrival of the new principal puts Wednesday in situations she never signed up for. Plus, family ties take center stage as Puxley joins the Nevermore hallways, and the Addams clan's complicated history starts to show cracks. The tone leans darker and gorier this time around, with horror beats that feel lifted from classic slasher films, but there's a playful silliness too, with the gothic set pieces, like a masquerade gala and carnival scenes that blend stylish visuals with unnerving undertones. All 8 episodes are split into 2 parts. Part 1 dropped August 6th and followed by Part 2 on September 3rd. The season builds toward question about power, responsibility, and whether Wednesday can solve the growing chaos around her without losing herself. The show stuffed with references: The Mummy, Futurama, The Mask of Zorro, even Riverdale, and so many more. At times it plays more like a parody than an actual mystery. If you want a truly dark detective story that gets under your skin, go watch True Detective. Wednesday is more like fast fashion, easy to consume, visually styled, but ultimately offering nothing new. Yes, the aesthetic is cool, cartoonish, comic bookish, theatrical, and you can definitely feel the director's style. But it doesn't hit as hard as Season 1. That was fresh, almost revolutionary for Netflix. Season 2, just another safe product. Plenty of grossness and edge in the visuals, but still carefully packaged, not to cross any real lines. The pacing drags like crazy. 1 hour per episode is just too much. I was literally bored. The humor falls flat most of the time. In fact, I switched off 10 minutes into the first episode before forcing myself to finish for the sake of this review. The plot doesn't help either. The big mystery they teased at the beginning dropped halfway through because it clearly wasn't sustainable. Tyler, who charmed everyone in Season 1, loses all his magic here. Same goes for his relative. And did we really need a prequel-style backstory for the Addams family? What do you think? Strip away the spooky aesthetic, and what's left is just regular melodrama that feeds off famous gothic imagery. It's Netflix through and through. Sleek, watchable, but hollow. And of course, no surprise, they've already announced another season. Because when there is money to be made, why stop milking it? Was it fun to watch? Not really. But was it stylish background noise? Sure. Just don't expect the revolution of Season 1 because that moment has passed. Watch only good movies and series that don't disappoint you.
My uncle used to let me sit behind the wheel while we ran errands.
I'm late for a funeral. And if you're here when I get back, I'll be early for another.
I knew you'd be working weekends.
Death never takes a holiday, so neither do I.
How does it feel?
Like returning to the scene of the crime. I already know where the bodies are buried.